and you join us on the warm-up lap for the Cargas Formula Ford 1600 final over 15 laps. This has been described as the breeding ground of champions, and indeed it's the class of racing where all the top Irish drivers have come from in the last number of years, including, of course, Eddie Jordan.
Thank you to say such nice things, but quite honestly, that is the case. Formula Ford 1600 is where young, up-and-coming superstars of the future are born and bred, and where they cut their teeth, so to speak. It's cut and thrust, lots of action. Keep your eyes glued to the television on this particular race. Lots of people making daring and brave moves, and you will see a lot of different techniques being employed. Nothing is probably as controversial as the previous race you saw, which was saloon car race. But in this particular race, you will see that drivers will be trying to maintain and control themselves and for their future ahead.
So Paul Bishop, that's the man on pole position. He's had an interview with him earlier, and alongside him on the outside of the front row, the new Irish nationwide champion, Pat Duffy. But Paul Bishop really got it together in practice for this one. In fact, he's right on the lap record. So Paul Bishop, who's won the Irish Formula Ford festival here at Modelo earlier on in the year, doing very well. That's a man who's created a lot of sensations recently. He's still a schoolboy. He's only 17 years of age. His name is Martin Donnelly, and tomorrow he goes back to school. And there he is on the second row of the grid in a 3-year-old motor car. Alongside him is John McCracken from Dublin, but they're off. And it's a question of taking a deep breath, and whoever gets through Shell without damage is going to be a very happy man. But it's Pat Duffy. It's Duffy from Paul Bishop. Paul Bishop in second place. Somebody on the outside. Could it be Joey Green in there? So Duffy leads Bishop. McCracken is third. Donnelly fourth. And then it looked like Mick Dillon.
Amazingly clean start there. These cars are always vital to get a good start, and I'm surprised there hasn't been more incidents at the first corner. However, a very, very good and clean move by Pat Duffy, followed closely by Paul Bishop. These two actually have dominated Formula Ford 1600 in Ireland this year, and it's fitting that the two of them should be in for a battle royal at the front of this very prestigious event.
John McCracken, also a 3-time winner here this year, very much informed gentleman, but in fact in Alan Kelly's car with his own bodywork on it. He blew up the engine on his own car in yesterday's races, and then consequently has had to take this car. But there they are, coming down to complete their first lap. It's Pat Duffy, just from Paul Bishop. John McCracken and Bishop goes on the outside. There's Mick Dillon, Bishop on the outside, Duffy on the inside. Should be Duffy's. Bishop hopped out a little bit, giving John McCracken even a chance to go through on the inside, but a fairly brave effort by Bishop, determined to get past the all-conquering Pat Duffy this year in the opening laps.
Well, this is the kind of style you're going to see all the way through this race. It'll have you on the edge of your chair. Incredible move by Paul Bishop yet again. He's trying desperately. He's going to put Pat Duffy under incredible pressure. In fact, I think he's got by. Not really. Going to move across as they enter Esso for the second or third time.
And look at McCracken on the inside. John McCracken on the inside. And in his efforts to get past Duffy, Bishop is leaving himself wide open to McCracken's attacks. So now Bishop right almost 4 wheels off the course there. Bishop totally lit up at the moment. Paul Bishop in the works assistant Crosley behind the Van Diemen of Pat Duffy. A Van Diemen in third place of John McCracken. And look at young Martin Duffy in a very strong fourth position.
It's interesting. Paul Bishop, who had the fastest time this morning, is chasing really hard here. He has his eyes and heart set on a big future in England and in Europe in future years in professional motor racing, so it won't do him any good if he's actually beaten by Pat Duffy. And you will see this aggression and commitment to win is actually showing a lot of verve here.
And his aggression also showing on his nose cone. McCracken getting another chance to slip inside there, and Duffy determined to get past once again on the outside as they come down into Esso. A very difficult manoeuvre unless you're further up there.
I think in actual fact Paul Bishop would have been wiser to follow line there, because in actual fact what he's actually doing is provoking young McCracken into that position. Noticeable, I'm glad you said that McCracken changed his bodywork, because this is this distinctive colour yellow that Derek McMahon has always used on all his cars, and no exception in this case, because young John McCracken is totally sponsored by Derek McMahon, the businessman from Donegal.
Real motor racing, and 6, 7, 8 cars, all in it. Absolutely fabulous stuff. And because Duffy is trying so hard to fend off Bishop, and they must have touched again. In fact, about 4 cars touched. Donnelly got a little shunt in the nose there also. Dillon as well having to back off. But because he got it, an amazing move. He's done it. I don't think I've ever seen that happen in a Formula Ford race at Mondello before.
Never before. They've done it at Shell, they've done it at Duckham's around Esso, but I think that's the number one for Duffy. And McCracken straight through and over the barriers and in. McCracken, a mad move, a do-or-die effort, tried the inside once and he got on the grass, he lost adhesion and could not stop. Now let's...
Duffy under to give way at one stage, and right on his tail was Paul Bishop to take the incentive and go and move into a very good lead as we see now.
John McCracken trying to make a move at Charlotte to go back up the field, and there it is. It's John McCracken and Guy Cook have tangled, and that was in McCracken's second efforts to go off the field, and John McCracken just been a bit headstrong, I think, today.
I think lying in third, very frustrating for John. He's had a mixed season, he tried it, it didn't pay off, and when you're down that far, you have nothing to lose. But to actually be out of it and end on the grass, not good enough.
And the new sensation is that the rain...
Being one of the prime and the instigators of professional motor racing in Ireland, goes back, maybe 20 years or so. Such good people like Tommy Reid, Alan Ronaldson, his cars have been all over the world. A really good and staunch supporter of Irish motor racing.
There's Donnelly, there's McDillen trucking inside him, and it must have been very nearly contact there. McDillen, who was runner-up in the Irish Nationwide Formula Ford Premier Championship last year here at Mondello. There's the leader on his second last lap. Paul Bishop now having it all his own way, and only a lack of lapse of concentration or a mechanical error can rob this man of his second major victory here at Mondello this year.
Yes, Paul looks as if he has this race almost wrapped up. He's mounting the curb on one side as he exits. He's using the full road. He's got complete control. He's making it look as tidy as he possibly can. When everybody else is hanging out the tail, he looks as if he's got the car totally in control. He's controlling the race, as I say. He knows what he's doing. He's only looking in the mirrors now and again. He's in total concentration as to what the car is doing and where he wants to exactly put the car.
He's on his last lap, turns the car late into the OAC, right out over the curbs and down now into Duffy for the last time. This tricky double apex corner, taking it very wide on the entry there and then bringing the car right into the clipping point now.
If Paul wins, and I'm sure he will at this stage of the race, he'll be a popular win. Everybody knows the problems he had last year, and this year he's had some hassle at the start between engines that weren't up to scratch, tires he felt weren't the right choice, etc., etc. And for today, for it to come all right at the end of the season, is the best thing could happen for Paul at this stage of his career.
So Paul Bishop comes up the Ford Straight for the last time, down through the box, down to about 30 miles an hour, round this long hairpin, drifting it out wide, the place where he took the lead from Pat Duffy in second place there. Bishop wins, delighted with himself. Pat Duffy is second. 2 hands in the air. Paul Bishop, the now almost standard victory from a racing driver. Second place was Pat Duffy, and in third place, just holding off Mick Dillon, in fact, was Martin Donnelly.